see, we spent our life trying to find out where we fit in. And it was always based on how much resources you have, how much money you had, who you know. And yes, these things does play a role, but it's not solely based on that. Because there's people right now winning in life and in the thing that they want to do, and they started with nothing. My name is Josh Fakir, and I want to welcome you to Timeout. Now, in our Timeout today, I want to kick it off by just giving you 3 words. You know, I always give you something at the beginning, and I go into depth about it. But 3 words I just have for you today. Now, I'm doing something a little different this time because usually it's me giving you these 3 words. But today, I want us to say these words together. You see, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And there's certain situations we face in life that not only do we have to speak life into it, but we have to stand up and act on what we say and what we believe. So for some of you, there's certain things that you need to activate in your life when it comes to pursuing your dreams and your purpose. And this is an empowerment session. I want us to be empowered to go after those things that we want to do in life. So indulge me for just a moment, but there's 3 words that I have for you, but I want us to say these words together. I believe you will be empowered today. So what are those 3 words? It's very simple. Count me in. Count me in. Now, I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. But before I do, come on, I want you to wake up and I want you to say these words with me, okay? After 3, we're going to say count me in. You ready? 1, 2, 3, count me in. Now, I'm going to say it 2 more times. 3 words, we're going to say it 3 times, okay? Now, listen, please, just trust me. Just say these words. I want you to say it and I want you to believe it because you're speaking life into yourself and into your situation, okay? So 2 more times, we're going to say it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Count me in. Now, we're going to say it 1 more time, especially for those of you who are just watching me because you're like, Josh, I didn't really come to hear what I got to say. I just want to hear what you got to say. Well, good. We're going to say these things together, all right? So please, 1 more time and just open your mouth. Trust me. And let's say these words together because I believe this is going to empower you, especially for those of you who feel like you're hitting a brick wall and you're trying to break through. These are for you. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Count me in. All right. Now, what does this mean? Why am I asking you to say these words? All right. Well, let me tell you where I got these from. You know, this was actually derived from a life lesson that I got from a 4-year-old boy. Now, you might be thinking, a 4-year-old gave you a life lesson. Listen, let me tell you something. All right. You'll never know where you're going to draw your next inspiration. So you got to always be open-minded and to keep your ears open. You know, they say that the mind is like a parachute. It works best when open. So I try to keep an open mind in any situation because trust me, people will tell you, especially those who we look up to, that's doing the things we want to do in life, you'll be surprised at where they got their inspiration from. And you'll be surprised where you'll get your next inspiration from. So, you know, there's a wise businessman that once says that you must always be an apprentice, even when you've become the master. So listen to this lesson that I got from this 4-year-old boy. He was 4 years old. So we lived in a house where our next door neighbor had a 4-year-old, and he would come outside and play with my kids every time I brought my kids outside to play. I would sit on the car, maybe I'll run around with them for a little, and every time he saw us, he would like, oh, you know, he asked his parents, Mommy, Daddy, can I go play? And he used to help them out too, because I know there was things they probably had to do around the house, you know, some cooking, cleaning, whatever. So for him to be outside, you know, it was beneficial to them also. So this 4-year-old kid, you know, he was very bright, very beyond his years. You can have a conversation with him and forget you're talking to a little child. So this one day, he wanted to come and play. He just got home with his mom. His mom wanted to go start on dinner. He's bugging her, can we go outside? So she looked at me and I said, listen, you can let him come and play with my kids. I'm going to be out here. I'll supervise him. He can come and join them. She was like, thank you so much. I got a lot to do. She went inside and he's outside playing. Now this 4-year-old kid, for privacy purposes, let's call him Little Johnny, okay? So Little Johnny, he had a fascination for bicycles and for dogs. And so something he would do whenever a neighbor of ours was walking by, walking their dog, it's in the evening, everybody's getting home, they're walking their dog, and he's like, look, a little dog, a puppy, it's a puppy, can I touch your puppy? And so the neighbor, they'll indulge him and say, okay, let him pet the dog. And then when time was up, they were like, okay, we got to go by, and he's walking away, and little Johnny would watch them and like, where are they going with my dog? That's my dog. Hey, where you going with my dog? And I'm like, look, Johnny, that's not your dog. That's their dog. No, that's my dog. And I'm like, Johnny, that's not your dog. And he'd be like, okay. He went back to playing. Somebody's riding a bicycle. He's like, look, it's a bicycle. A bicycle. It's a red bike. Yeah, that's a red bike. I like that bike. And the person keeps riding, and he's like, wait a minute. Where are they going with my bike? Hey, that's my bike. And I'm like, Johnny, chill. That's not your bike. Okay? And so I'm laughing because he is like, he's serious about this. That's his bike, and these people got his dog, and he's about to call somebody. All right, so I'm sitting back and I'm laughing. I'm sitting on the car, and I'm like, yo, this Johnny, he is funny to me. And then I started to think about it. I'm looking at Johnny, and I'm impressed by his conviction and that he's standing by it. Because you see, to little Johnny, in his mind, it didn't matter how much more money you had than he did. It doesn't matter how much more resources, your network, your net worth. It didn't matter how much more educated you were, or how bigger you were than him. In his mind, there was only one thing that made sense. And it's that if you could have it, then he could have it. If you could do it, then he can do it. If you can achieve it, then he can achieve it. You see, that blew my mind, because in his mind, the playing fields were leveled. You did not have an edge on him. He can compete in the best of crowds, and if you can have something that he wanted, he believed he can have it too. And it got me thinking about ourselves in life. You see, in his mind, he's innocent. He wasn't exposed to all these concepts in life, these social economic classes, these groups, these elite groups, where you fit in. You see, we spent our life trying to find out where we fit in, and it was always based on how much resources you have, how much money you have, who you know. And yes, these things does play a role, but it's not solely based on that, because there's people right now winning in life and in the thing that they want to do, and they started with nothing. And so we adopt these mindsets in life about finding where we fit in, and it puts restrictions on us, because now all of a sudden we see things that someone is doing, and oh, I wish I could have that, but I don't fit in. I don't fit in that group. I'm not as smart as this person. I don't have as much money as this person. And so we start to settle on the things that we want to do in life. Our passions begin to take a back seat, as well as our dreams, because this is our lane. This is my lane. I can't deviate. This is my lane. This is all I can do. This is all I know. And we pass that along to our children and to our children's children. And then we live in a life where we have limited thinking and a limited mind. And so we count ourselves out. And many times, and I'm not the only one, some of you can look at life and an opportunity you had, and you looked at what you had and what you were working with compared to the next person, and you looked at the opportunity, and you close the door to that opportunity in your own face. It's not always people who close a door in our face. Sometimes we close the door in our own face because we always count ourselves out. But today I want us to make a change. Today I want you to count yourself in. I want you, when you see somebody who's winning at what you want to do in life, if someone opens up a business in the same area of entrepreneurship that you're in, I want you to applaud their victory and say, yes, I'm happy for them. Count me in, I'm next. When you see somebody you're believing for this achievement or this milestone, to graduate, to purchase a home, to do something in life, and I don't want you to count yourself out anymore. Stop counting yourself out. There's things that you should have and should be doing right now, but you don't have it because you counted yourself out. It doesn't matter who counts you out. What matters is if you count yourself out. I want you from now on to say, count me in. Count me in, I'm next. There's a great guy that I love listening to, very wise. He said his mother taught him something as a kid. When he saw someone who accomplished something in life, someone who benefited in the area of life that he was interested in, don't be jealous. Celebrate him. And one thing she used to say for him is she used to say, you know what, if he got his mail, that means the mailman is still working and your mail is on the way. In other words, there's enough room for success for everybody. Don't believe that there's no room, there's no piece of the pie for you. No, if you have the will, the sheer will and determination that you're going to go after whatever it is you want to do, there's room for you. You know why? Because even if there isn't, you can make room for you. You got to count me in. Count me in. I want you to say that when you see these things in life, when you wake up, say, count me in. Don't give up on your dreams and goals. Don't only pursue your dreams just because someone acknowledges you. Don't wait for someone to acknowledge your dream before you pursue it. Because I'm going to tell you this the way I heard it myself. There's only one time when everybody in the room is going to believe in your dream. Only one time. And that's after you've made your dream a reality. There's always going to be doubters. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to, Steve Harvey said it like this: if you want your dream to die, then tell it to a small-minded individual. Listen, you can't trust people with your dreams. You got to be a believer even if no one else is. Count me in. I'm inspired because I was just looking at some stats for Tom Brady. Right now he's all over the ESPN. There's no sports right now due to the pandemic, but they're talking about how he's now going to play for Tampa Bay. And I sat there and I said, you know what? I haven't really been a fan of Tom Brady because every time my team played him, he always kind of embarrassed us. But I have to acknowledge him. Right now they're calling him the GOAT in football when it comes to quarterback, which means GOAT means greatest of all time. So I sat down and I'm attracted to greatness. I can't lie. Many of you are as well. And so even I may not be a fan of his, I appreciate his work ethic. And do you know Tom Brady, how many people counted him out? How many people counted him out? Tom Brady came out of college and he was the 199th pick of the NFL draft in 2000. He was picked in the 6th round. That means there's 32 teams in the NFL. 5 rounds, all 32 teams passed on him. They counted him out. And it wasn't until the 6th round, the 199th pick, that Tom Brady was inducted into the NFL. He got drafted by the New England Patriots. And his rookie year, he was a backup quarterback. He only played 1 game. It wasn't until the following year when his starting quarterback got hurt and he got into the game, and history was made from there on. He was nothing but the starting quarterback. Now listen to this. There were 6 quarterbacks that was drafted before him. None of them had a career like Tom Brady. In fact, 1 or 2 of them never even played a game in the NFL. They either went to the practice squad or ended up going to a lower divisional league. Tom Brady was picked 199th pick, and now today, if you look at his stats, it is incredible. Tom Brady has 6 NFL championships. He was the youngest. He's the second to youngest quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl at the age of 24. And he's the oldest back just recently to ever win the game at 41 years old. 6 championships. There's only 2 other great quarterbacks who got as close to him, and that's Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw, who has 4 each. Tom Brady has 6 NFL championship rings. Do you know right now he leads the league in the NFL history with the most regular season wins with 219? The 2 that comes after him are other 2 great quarterbacks, Peyton Manning, you know the name, and Brett Favre. They only have 186. This man is sitting at 219, and he's the youngest. Right now he is the GOAT. I mean, and here's what's funny: 6 quarterbacks was drafted before him. Guess how many rings he has? 6 rings. Tom Brady was counted out, and if you ever watch him play the game, he plays with a chip on his shoulder because he knew everybody counted him out, but he didn't count himself out. Till this day, he knows he's the greatest quarterback to play the game, and he played with a chip on his shoulder. So much so, let me tell you how I know he never forgot that everybody counted him out. Because now he just started a production company. Guess what the name of his production company is? 199 Productions. He remembers that number 199 times. He talked about how he cried when 4 or 5 rounds went by, and it was just him and his parents. Everyone else was at the draft with their family, their friends in a big room. It was just him and his parents, and he had to take a walk around the block because his dad had to take him for a walk around the block because nobody was picking him up. But when his name got called, he was like, count me in. Count me in. You guys are going to see. Everybody who passed up on me, you're going to see. And he picks teams apart. This man is incredible. And because he never counted himself out. So that's what I want for you today. When you think about what it is you want to do in life, when you see people winning, don't get nervous. Don't be like, there's not enough room for me. Don't say, oh man, they did it, but they have this much over me. No. Count me in. Count me in. Every day when you wake up, you think about the things you want to do. You look at your vision board and say, count me in. Even if it takes longer than you expected, count me in. I'm still in the game. I ain't going nowhere. Tom Brady say, I'm in my 40s now. I'm still in the game. I'm still a hot commodity. People still want me. But back then they didn't want me. You know the rest. So count me in. Come on, we're going to say it one more time. Count me in. Say, count me in. When it comes to your dreams and your goals, it doesn't matter what anybody says. Listen, count me in. I'm next. I'm next. I need you to have an I'm next mentality. I want you to celebrate other people's wins. We're not going to be envious. We're not going to covet people's things. But we know that if they did it, it's possible for me to do it too. And guess what? If there's something that you want to do that nobody's ever done before, it just means you're going to be the first one to do it. Count me in. I'm next. So in this timeout, that's why I want you to think of. Don't count yourself out anymore. Count yourself in. You're next. You can do it. You have what it takes. And don't look at nobody else. There's people who started with less and is doing what they dreamed of doing in life. Don't put your passions on the back burner. Don't put your dreams on the back burner. Even if you can't be out right now because you're quarantined, there's something you could be doing right now to work on your dreams. Listen, don't count yourself out. When you see the things that you want to do in life, celebrate it and say these words to yourself. Count me in. I'm next. My name is Joshua Fakir. I believe in you. When you do it and you accomplish it, let me know. I want to celebrate you too. And for me too, you can count me in as well, because this is just the beginning for us. So, God bless you, and I'll see you at our next time out. Hey everybody, again, I'm Joshua Fakir, and I want to thank you for tuning in. And if you found that this video encouraged you, I want to encourage you to share the encouragement with someone else. I mean, we got to keep the encouragement going. Someone who you know can use an additional push in their life to do what they feel they were called to do. Remember, iron sharpens iron. As a friend strengthens a friend. And if there's any areas in your life where you feel like you need additional push or additional encouragement, please comment below. Let me know what areas in your life that you feel like you're lacking that push. I'll be happy to walk alongside you, provide content that's going to help push you to greatness. But other than that, thank you for joining me. God bless you. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share it, and hit that bell notification so you can be one of the first to know when new encouragement has been released. Until our next time out together, I'll see you soon.